Good day to you, and thanks for joining me today. I'm Spenta and I enjoy growing iris plants, and as you see, my iris have bloomed. These are hardy bearded iris that I'm sharing with you today, and they are very aromatic and fragrant. I walk around every morning and evening and it smells very aromatic right around here. If you are new to my channel and new to my content, please take a moment and check out my playlists. I appreciate you being here and watching my share, and I'm thankful for your views, comments, likes, and shares. This here is my bearded iris, and behind it, right there, I am raising some baby hens, and over here I have some little hens. Back to my bearded iris, and I highly recommend that you grow bearded iris if you are living in an area that has harsh winters, because bearded iris is very hardy. It actually can last down to very cool temperatures. For example, last year it was down to negative 17 degrees Fahrenheit, and the year before that something similar. So it's kind of nice to have these flowers bloom during the springtime. I mentioned they grow and flower during springtime. This is true. The iris itself actually stays green throughout the year, so the plant itself stays green. So it also adds beautiful foliage if you're just looking to add some green to your gardens or even borders. It's a very good plant to add to borders because it goes and it actually multiplies by rhizomes. So it multiplies by rhizome cuttings. That's why it's a good plant, and that's why another reason I highly recommend it is because it does its own thing and it does a rhizome growing, which is actually nice because it means that a third year iris is going to be just this beautiful like this, and a new iris, which it's getting crowded in here, so I'll have to start cleaning it soon. I won't clean it until the fall season. You can also clean it prior to spring. So a good time to clean iris, which I cleaned my front iris gardens, and I will share that with you another time. Those front iris gardens are totally different because I cleaned through them, and so they are different, and they're giving 2-year iris flowers, so they're completely different than these iris plants. These are, as I mentioned, now 3 years that they've been here, so they are, some of them, longer, so they are doing really good, and they smell so great. So I highly recommend that you plant bearded iris if you live in an area that has harsh winters. I live in USDA Zone 7. If you're just now watching my share again, I'm Spenta, and I'm thankful that you're here watching my share with me. Your comments, likes, subscriptions are greatly appreciated, and don't forget to share. If you're interested in iris or growing any plants, I'm definitely here to answer your comments. Back over there, my hens again. So cute. There are 4 of them, different varieties. Let's see if I can get a better shot. So cute. This plant right itself is one of my very nice plants. It dried up as it did hit, winter did hit this. However, one really good thing about this kind of plant is that it does shoot other shoots out of the ground. So the plant itself, let's see if I can zoom into it so you can see how protected it is. All my plants are very protected from, let's get really close. All my plants are really protected from winter by super mulching, basically. I really add triple and quadruple layers of mulch because I don't want my plants to die. So see, as a result of that, here is another shoot, which is exactly what I was looking for and hoping for, that it wouldn't die. So it didn't die, but it is a very hard plant to try to keep around. So just keep that in mind. And it's called Lady Banks Rose. It's beautiful, aromatic yellow flowers in the spring, so it will be so pretty. By the way, the iris plants actually are followed by my daffodils and tulips. So at first I have daffodils and tulips that arrive, and then that means that spring is near, and then my bearded iris start to bloom. So that's a good thing. So that's when I know the weather is getting to a point where it's nice enough for my other flowers to start flowering, because it's getting cool. It's getting much to the middle of the spring, and therefore my summer flowers will start to bloom, and weather is going to start to warm up soon. Here I have a hollyhock plant that's coming up from last year. I planted my amaryllis down in the ground because amaryllis actually does great if you plant it in the ground, and you can also plant it indoors. Check out my share on amaryllis. I grow amaryllis indoors, and I love to bring it outside and enjoy a second time bloom, and that's what I'm doing right there. Those are my tomato plants and pepper plants, and they're still young, so young plants. And here are some mint. Again, here are some iris flowers, and they just continue to bloom. They remind me of a wedding. I think that's why I think they're so pretty. Is another reason is they remind me of just a wedding. It's just so pretty, white and green, white against green. I think it's a wonderful contrast. Okay, so it is really easy to grow bearded iris. I highly recommend that you cut it, and I highly recommend that you mulch all your plants. Each plant, when it's just being established for its first year or second year, it really does need a lot of watering, and it needs a lot of care. So don't forget to feed your plants. I like to feed my plants a mixture of my own compost, and I also like to use 20-20-20. So those are what I use for my plants over here. And my compost consists of 3 different things actually. It's just grass clippings, and perhaps if I have a flower here or there that has died, I actually add that to my compost pile. And I also like to add whatever is leftover chickens. I said chicken, kitchen, not chicken. My poor chickens, they just add fertilizer to the garden, so they're not chicken scraps. They're actually fertilizer at the moment. So I use a 1/3 ratio of grass clippings, as I was mentioning, and I also add 1/3 of leftover kitchen scraps, just veggies, fruits, whatever is left over, and I add 1/3 of cow manure. So that is what my compost consists of. So right there. And over here I have more plants that are growing. This is the springtime here. Again, I'm Spenta, living in USDA Zone 7 and expecting my plants to grow. There they are, just brand new sprouts. I love looking at plants coming out of the ground. I'm Spenta, and I'm a definite nature lover. I just love looking at it. It's so beautiful from every direction. It's so pretty. So again, if you want your iris to look good, remember that you can plant it in pots. You can plant it at borders, you can plant it in gardens, you can plant them everywhere. They do cross-pollinate. I have a variety that has finally successfully cross-pollinated, and I'm very happy to have it. It's one of my purple variety. It is towards the end of my gardens. Let's see if I can make it to that point and share with you what that looks like. I purchased this Lady Banks rose a couple of years ago, so I have to take care of it each year because, as I mentioned, it is very sensitive. That's what I like to call very sensitive. Look at them. They're enjoying their time here in the gardens. There is cornbread, nugget, biscuit, and the beautiful, most beautiful. Here you go. Where are you? Chicolette is always running from me. Here you go. She's so shy. There she is. There's Chicolette. Hi, Chicolette. Say hello. She's so cute. The rest of them are just minding their business. Chicolette is so tiny. Here's some poke salad. I love growing that. Oh, and finally, I have bamboo. Yes, I have bamboo, and I'm excited. Here is what I want to show you. Look at this. This particular iris right here. Isn't that interesting? So I finally cross-pollinated 2 iris plants, and it's just too pretty. And in the mornings, it looks so much different than at this time. This variety is a mixture between the purple and white iris. So I had to cross-pollinate this, and yes, it does work. So see, we see that successfully. A good one. It's cross-pollinated. Well, hello, doggy. There you go. Going back over here. Right there. Some more tomatoes. and peppers. And back here, there's my holly that's being taken over by the iris, so I'll have to move some iris over. Here again is my iris garden, and I really love being out here, and I enjoy looking at my iris again. It is such an easy flower to grow. I highly recommend it. It's winter hardy, it's beautiful, it's aromatic, easy to grow in pots, containers that are just sitting by the side, or perhaps your gardens, all over the gardens, maybe borders. Iris is a great plant. I highly recommend it, and it's beautiful. And don't forget, feed your plants. Just like you, they love to be fed. I'm Spenta, and I wish you a fantastic day, and thank you for watching my share. Happy gardening!